Hey, welcome back, everybody. All right, you just filed bankruptcy. You're experiencing the sense of relief that comes from having your debts discharged. The slate is wiped clean, but wait, you have a big red flag on your credit report. So now, what do? The answer from Chattanooga bankruptcy attorney Aaron Epstein. Welcome back to the show. We enjoy it when you're here so much, Aaron. I hope you're doing well. All right, so what do? That's a question. You've got that relief, but you've also got to play the role of a psychologist, of a family counselor, because that must be a blow to the ego as well when you realize you still owe people money, but you did the best you could.
Well, once you get through the bankruptcy, you are debt-free. In fact, once you file the bankruptcy, that nanosecond, you are debt-free. So you should be feeling elated. You may not be, in a happy mood, but you should be relieved that nobody can ever bother you again for the money that you owe.
Do a lot of people, a lot of your clients still think, gosh, I am debt-free, but just the nagging thought that I still owe people money, but I don't owe them money?
I think that guilt factor evaporates when they finally realize that it's getting to the point of filing means that guilt should be over. I'm not a psychologist, but my understanding is that there's a genuine sense of relief. They finally realize that there's a future, because when you're inundated with the kind of harassment that they get and all of a sudden it evaporates, I think that the relief is huge.
I've known you for years. I know that warmth about you. Do you stay with this person for as long as they need you? If they want to call and just talk, do you help them with budget planning? I mean, is that become a partnership?
Yeah, it's a relationship, and 32 and a half years, I have a lot of clients who I have known and helped, and they call me for things that are sometimes unrelated to bankruptcy. And if I can't help them, I know somebody who can.
Aaron, can you look at me, can you look at the camera, and you actually say that there are true success stories coming out of bankruptcy? Good comes of this. They will start fresh again. They've learned their lesson. Life moves on.
I can't imagine, of the 30,000 plus cases I've had, that any one of them was not a success story. Every single person has gone on and improved their life. I can't think of anything negative.
Is the majority of these clients just hit hard with medical expenses or the loss of a job? Is it just beyond their control that they would never think of filing bankruptcy? Majority of it.
Yeah, the majority, and it's not all medical expense. There are people who overextend themselves with credit card debt and loans and things that happen, but a lot of times that's a result of a job loss, and you have one person working and you can't live on one income. Sometimes you have to use your credit worthiness to get by.
All right, if you are watching right now, let me go ahead and show this up on the screen. What do now? Create a budget, you've always said, start saving money, get a secured credit card, and stay positive. These are some of the things that you've talked about, and you've got to do it immediately.
That's right. Do it right away. One thing I didn't mention, and I've learned recently, the credit scores, and somebody might correct me, your credit score actually rises upon the filing of the bankruptcy. I've been told between 125, 150 points. So there's a dramatic increase in your credit worthiness, because number one, if it's Chapter 7, you can't file again for 8 years. So you've got a long time before you can exercise that right. But generally, it's going to immediately improve your credit score.
So one more thing, let me ask you. You file bankruptcy, and then what happens? I mean, do you just go about, you get a credit card? Do you get a small loan like at a credit union to build that credit? How do you build it?
I would say starting small is the key, because you don't want to get back in my office, a year or two later. Some things can happen that you can't control, but starting small, I think the credit union is a great resource, a small secured credit card. If you're reaffirming debts, like a car or a house, stay current on those. Don't get behind, because you're building your credit from scratch.
As a father of 3, Aaron, are you seeing younger people coming into your office more
Absolutely.
so than you ever have in 30 years?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Who's at fault?
Wow, it's kind of it's a systemic issue, I guess, that the credit lending is so generally so loose at the bottom end. I mean, one of the biggest problems I'm seeing now are the people who get overextended with payday loans, and they may have 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 cash advances, and they've got these checks out there and they are probably losing more sleep than anyone.
All right, one more thing. You've always said if you're going to file bankruptcy, do not go and run up your credit cards within a certain amount of time. You will be responsible for those debts.
Right. The 120-day rule is pretty significant. It applies to luxury goods and services, but that includes cash advances, balance transfers. So you don't want to go bankrupt if you've got a significant charge account.
We talked about a lot of issues today. It's all on your website, which I think is unbelievable. You've got these great videos there. You explain it so easily. And here's the information. Once again, Chattanooga attorney Aaron Epstein. He is a bankruptcy attorney. His office is located right there on Cherry Street. If you need to get in touch with him, it is 752-3000, 752-3000, www.moneyproblems.com. He's been doing this for more than 30 years. Aaron, an honor to have you on the show. Hopefully, we've helped just bring some closure to a lot of folks who are hurting these days, and all the best to you.
Likewise.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
A look at the news straight ahead, and we're going to the jock sale. We'll tell you what that's all about right after this.